Hello and welcome to Talk Wargaming. In this video I will be moving my attention from the tabletop to the world of video games. However, I won't be stepping too far from my comfort zone as I take a look at Warhammer 40k Regicide. Produced by Hammerfall Publishing, Regicide is, well, essentially Chess Plus. That's probably an overly simple way of describing the game, but its core mechanics are based on that ancient board game. Regicide features the equivalent of pawns, knights, bishops, rooks, queens, and finally, kings. The pieces, for want of a better word, move in the same way as their board game counterparts, and the game is played out on an 8x8 grid. Now, before you reach for the old chessboard, let me tell you about some of the differences. Most significantly is the inclusion of an extra phase in each player's turn. In the traditional game, each player is allowed to move a single piece before control moves to their opponent. However, in Regicide, after you've moved your piece or have taken an opponent's, you then enter what is called the initiative phase. Here is where the differences start. In the initiative phase, you can command your pieces to shoot at an enemy a few squares away, attack an enemy in an adjacent square, or go to ground, which I will cover in a moment. Additionally, each type of piece also has one or more of their own special abilities. Pawns can throw an area effect grenades, and bishops can suppress enemy pieces, just to name a few. Each of these abilities costs a number of action points, of which you have 3 to use in each initiative phase. When these have been depleted, control moves over to your opponent. So, in addition to these extra actions, each piece also has several stats which affect how well it can perform in the initiative phase. These are wounds, armor, toughness, weapon skill, and strength. Wounds determine how much damage your piece can take from attacks before it is destroyed. Both armor and toughness will reduce damage taken, however armor can be damaged by high strength attacks. Weapon skill governs the chance of the attack hitting, and strength refers to how much damage is done when the attack makes contact. While your pieces can be instantly destroyed during the movement phase by a traditional chess move, they can also be killed during the initiative phase from sustained attacks. In addition to each piece's own set of actions, there are also more powerful special abilities that can be initiated. These can both be offensive and defensive, ranging from suppressing several enemy units at once to restoring the health of your own pieces. These extra actions really allow for an additional level of tactical depth. Not only do you need to be aware of your piece's positions on the board, but you also need to make sure your opponent is not able to take out your king with a few well-placed shots. Fans of Warhammer 40k will also be pleased to hear that the element of randomness is retained within Regicide. On the tabletop, it is afforded by a dice roll. In this game, whether or not an attack hits or causes critical damage is determined in a similar way. Before you choose your target, you are presented with a percentage based on the likelihood that your attack will land. This is modified by your piece's weapon skill and their distance from their target. The higher the percentage, the less likely you are to miss your shot entirely. While this does break away from the logical and calculated approach of chess, it does help the game stand apart from its traditional counterpart. So now that we have taken a look at how the game plays, let's explore some of the game modes. First of all, we have the campaign mode, which pits the Blood Angels against the Orcs across 50 missions. These missions break away from the traditional number of pieces seen in chess, while at the same time introducing battlefield obstacles as well as multiple objectives. By completing these objectives, you can unlock skill and requisition points. Skill points are used to purchase additional special abilities, whereas requisition points can be used to unlock new army skins for use in skirmish mode. Skirmish mode allows you to face off against the AI, of which you can customize the difficulty, or head online to face a human opponent. Unlike the campaign, this game mode features your standard chess layout and pieces. Additionally, you can choose any of 3 maps and times of day to play on. Finally, that leaves us with the aesthetics of the game. To begin with, the characters and locations have been faithfully recreated from the 40k universe. If you're a big fan of miniatures of Warhammer 40k, then you'll be extremely pleased with how both the Orcs and the Space Marines have been rendered. If you're already familiar with the tabletop versions of the units, you also have no trouble identifying who they are and their role on the battlefield. While Regicide isn't the most graphically groundbreaking game on the market, it does look good. The lighting and particle effects help to create an immersive atmosphere to the point where you almost forget you're essentially playing chess. It should also be mentioned that the sound effects and music are also perfectly suited to the source material, even if they can become slightly repetitive. However, where the audio really shines is with the voice acting. The Space Marines and Orcs both sound just how you would expect them to.
Here, boss. Nowhere for him to run. Just the way I likes it. This battle shall be ours. Wake up, boys, if you say so. Your life force empowers me.
However, what is easily one of the best parts of this game are the death animations, which occur when a piece is taken. Awesome really isn't a strong enough word to describe them, so take a look at a selection and see for yourself. So that was Warhammer 40k Regicide, which as it stands is a pretty good game. While its campaign mode is a little light on story and variation, it doesn't claim to be anything else. As I've already mentioned, its strong points really are its presentation. Regicide's graphics far exceed the quality that you would expect from this sort of game. It is also clear that Hammerfall really have dedicated themselves to be as accurate to the source material as possible. For £10.99 or $14.99 you get yourself a good solid game that you can pick up and easily play a few matches of. If you're a lover of strategy games or the 40k genre in general, then I would highly recommend picking up Regicide. However, if you're more of a hardcore chess fan, then the randomization elements might leave you a little stranded outside of your comfort zone. Saying that, Regicide has certainly succeeded in putting an interesting spin on the original wargame. Well, that concludes my first ever video game review, so let me know what you think in the comments below, and be sure to share your own experiences of Regicide. Until next time, thanks for watching, and goodbye.
The Emperor